What's happening, Dudinos? Welcome back to the channel. It's Scotland. It's raining. Let's talk about the rain. Okay, first things first. Number one, the fear. If you're scared of riding in the rain, pack it in right now. There's no reason to be scared of riding in the rain. There are people that don't ride in the rain because they've got bikes that take so much cleaning that they don't want to get them, wet, covered in shit, whatever. That's absolutely fine. Bring it on, not a problem. But I know for a fact there are people who don't ride in the rain because they're scared to ride in the rain. So I'm telling you right now, pack it in. There's nothing to be scared of. Nothing to be scared of. Now let's start. Get the fear out of the way. You don't need to worry about it. I'm also going to tell you that you've got as much grip in the wet as you have in the dry. This might be where your fear stems from. I won't be able to stop. I'm going to slide. The bike's going to just blow off the road into a field, whatever. All that kind of irrational thoughts that come with probably the unknown, riding in the rain. Because if you don't understand, that would be your thinking. But it's not true. So if we've got the fear out of the way, what we have to look at now is number one priority is your focus and being in a good mindset. This comes from your riding gear. So making sure that you're dry and you're warm. That's your feet, your hands, all of it, dry and warm. Whether you wear a layering system and you carry your waterproof gear with you, doesn't matter. Just make sure that your gear's clean, waterproof, and that'll hold you in good stead because you'll be warm. So because you're warm, you'll be relaxed. Because you're relaxed, you'll be focused. Helmet and visor. Make sure your visor's clean. You can use some kind of Rain-X to help the water bead off. And also a pin lock inside. Now for those who don't know, a pin lock, this visor's got a pin on either side and you buy an insert that goes inside. It's got a silicone bead around it, and basically what it does is manages the temperature differential between inside the helmet and outside the helmet. It's a double glazing system. That's what it is. So that means that when there's loads of humidity in the air and you're breathing inside the helmet doesn't fog up, which would block your vision, which would mess up your focus, increase your stress levels, and all the things that you don't want when you're riding a bike. Now I did mention having as much grip in the wet as you do in the dry. So we're comparing that to us normal Joes riding to what? Riding in the rain. Just doing normal riding, not track riding. If you're riding on the track, you're going to have, that little bit less grip. So for the normal riding we do, you've got enough grip. Just got enough grip, that's it. Trust me, your tyres will do it. There's been so many accidents in the wet and bikes because guys, girls, whoever it may be, are too scared to make their bike make the shape to get out of trouble and end up hitting something because it's something they could have got around, but they're just too scared of the input. Talking about inputs, this bike doesn't have any rider modes or assistance. It has ABS. My last bike didn't. It's got ABS and that's it. So rider modes, you will probably have gravel mode, rain mode, sand mode, depending on your bike. And all that does is soften the throttle input. You stick it in rain mode and it just softens everything up. So all you need to do is soften this up. Your right wrist. So that starts the chain of softness. So soft on the throttle, then soft on the bars, soft with your body movement, and everything you do needs to be softer. Everything needs to be smooth, and you'll be good. Everything. That's all you're doing. No huge inputs. But again, like I say, in an emergency situation with that huge input, you'll probably end up getting out of the trouble that you are inevitably look like a disaster. And riding in the rain, it's just like riding in the dry. Apart from the drops from the sky. Things to look out for on the road. I'm on my commute to work, so I'm riding through the hills, so I don't really have any of that to worry about. But what you would be focused on, not hyper focused, not target fixation focused, is drain covers and painted lines. Just stay away. And if you do find yourself in a slow speed situation in town and traffic, whatever, just don't be turning or braking on drain covers or on painted lines. Easy peasy. Because of the paint and the sheen, they tend to be a lot slippier. The metal, bare metal obviously, a drain cover, that's going to cause you bother. Doesn't matter how much grip you've got. You get on there, get on the brakes or put a big input into the bike, gravity will take over and it won't end well. So don't let any of these things scare you away from riding in the rain. Maintain your bike, make sure your tyres are properly inflated, make sure you've got a decent legal amount of tread, make sure your bike's MOT'd, make sure you've got plenty of braking material on your brake pads. So it's just basic maintenance. The consequences of what we do going wrong are so high that this is stuff that this has got nothing to do with the rain. This is just general good practice when riding, is that you make sure you look after your bike. You look after your bike, and when it all gets a bit squirrely, your bike will look after you. They've just dug the drain out here. I was going to talk about puddles. They've just dug the drain out up the side here, so there aren't any puddles. There was one back there, but I'm not turning around. Okay, puddles and standing water. Now, your focus here is not to be hitting standing water fast, because this could cause you to aquaplane. And aquaplaning is whereby the tyre cannot push the water out of the way fast enough. Now this could be due to the type of tyre you've got, not enough tread on the tyre, the depth of the water, again the speed that you're travelling, predominantly the speed that you're travelling, and because you can't compress a liquid, the tyre as it rolls forward tries to push the water out of the way, but if you go too fast then the tyre's ability to do that is overcome by the volume of water, and then you end up with a layer of water underneath, and then you're on top of it. Cheers. And you're on top of it, and you're a passenger. You'll be out of control, and that's not good. So water, standing water, slow down. At the same time, big pieces of standing water, you've got to be careful there, because if you can see a clear line that's shallower, or somebody's gone through it in front of you, take that, because you don't want to be the first guy through and then there's a huge pothole in the middle of this puddle, because obviously you can't see any of that. That car that just passed there, so me riding along just now, I need to be able to stop in the distance I can see to be clear on my side of the road. In this case, all sides of the road. So therefore, I should leave twice the stopping distance. So in the rain, your braking distance is doubled. On a road like this, your braking distance is quadrupled, because you have to allow for the distance that the other vehicle takes to stop. So again, this comes back to softness, just slowing everything down, nice and easy. And matey's going to come anyway. Nice and easy, and you'll be good. Just need to allow enough time for everything. So we're easy on the throttle. Throttle inputs, nice and soft, and in a higher gear as well. If you ride in a higher gear and you accidentally squeeze the throttle, there's less chance of spinning up the back wheel and losing grip. And enjoy, because it's just different. You ride in the rain and it's, you know, it's cooler, the smells, the rain bounced off the road, the rain running down your visor. You get that spaceman feel because you're in your suit and you're out on an adventure. Do not be scared, guys, please, of riding in the rain. It's fantastic. It's not ideal all the time, but it makes everything a little bit harder. When you get back home, your gear's wet, so you need to make sure all your gear's dried out, ready for getting on the bike again. If you're commuting, for example, if you didn't have two sets of gear, which we can't all afford. If you haven't got two sets of gear, then you need to make sure you're allowing time for that gear to be dry for your next ride, which would be the next morning to back to work or whatever. And that goes back to the first point about being comfortable. Nothing worse than putting wet riding gear on and going outside and it's a bit cooler, the wind's blowing and it's raining, and this is going to hamper your comfort levels. And as I said, as soon as the comfort goes out the window, you just start to invite all sorts of problems. So let's not do that. But it's beautiful, look. Absolutely beautiful. And there's a deer running across the road. That's a different conversation. Alright guys, that's all I've got for you in the rain. I'm not a meteorologist, so I can't give you much more information than that, but please, 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 do not be scared. Do not be scared. Soften your inputs, get waterproof gear, and go for it. Practice, practice, practice. Alright? Hope you enjoyed that, guys. If you want to see more from me, you can do one of them up there. There's a car coming with one hand. And if you like the video, give it 3 thumbs up. Alright guys, thanks a lot. Ride safe, ride in the rain, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, ciao.